All right, hi everybody. Will Faerber here, and today we're starting off with Hanna and Duke. Hanna, why don't you tell us how the week has gone with Duke?
Not too bad. He was a little. We had a little cold snap, so he was a little fresh one day. So we did a lot of work on a lunge line and had some really nice canter. Let him canter a little bit more on the lunge line because
Right.
that was helping in our last lesson. And then got on and just because of his attitude stuck to mostly just a walk, but especially because he had a really good free forward moving walk. It was the best walk I'd ever gotten out of him. So
Great.
did some pretty good work at a walk for a decent amount of time and left it at that for that day.
Well, that's great. I mean, the walk is very telling, because horses like him when they're sticky. I mean, the walk feels like it's impossible, like they're just dragging every step behind and that sort of thing. So to get a big swing out of him in the walk is a good sign that we're headed in the right direction. That he doesn't just have that kind of dead feeling of planting his feet. So that's all good. So let's start off with a little work in hand then to start with today and see how that looks. So whichever direction you'd like to start there is good. We'll just do a little bit of that. And of course, this is where the time that we really try to work on that working walk, right off the bat here. So because we're not on him, we can get him working actively. And of course, the difficulty is always being able to keep up with the horses. Once they really start moving, we should have to be walking about as fast as a human can walk to keep up with a horse that's really got a good swing going on. Like he can do a little more than what he's doing there. So tap him, bring the walk a little more forward. There you go. And notice how as soon as you do that, he starts to stretch into it and keep opening that up. As I said, it should feel like you're really having to take nice, big, long steps yourself. When he's getting in a good active walk, of course, at this size, and that's getting much better now. Keep that going even a little bit more. You can even have a little more active swing. There's a little hesitancy to it still. Another little tap. He's kind of sucking back on you a little there. Much better. There we go. Starts to get better. Good. Much better now. Keep that going. Now see if you can make it even a little bigger. So he gets to that sort of place where he's kind of quasi-comfortable, but we want to push him a little bit beyond that a little bit and get a little bigger swing out of him. There we go, like that.
Very cool.
There we go. Getting into a better stretch now. And again, another tap trying to speed it up. His hind leg is starting to slow down back there. You want to keep the same step, getting where you don't feel like he's going slow, fast, slowing fast. So you're getting the same rhythm, and we can keep it all the way around the circle. So keep asking him to come up to you so he doesn't keep dropping back. Much more like it. Keep it going. Still sticking a little bit, like right through that corner there. All of a sudden, the hind legs kind of straightened out. He wasn't giving you that nice big step and actually bending his hocks and reaching. And again, there, give him a little tap. A little pissy about it. Even a little bit more. You can still get a little more out of him. And take up the slack in your reins so there's not a bunch of slack in the reins. So wherever we are, we want to keep the slack out of the reins and let them out as he gets longer. But as he comes up, we also want to keep the slack out so he doesn't just learn to avoid the contact. Even a little bit more active. That's getting better. Even more. Tap. And as you've seen when you ride him, he's the kind of horse that first you tap him with the whip, and his first reaction is to pin the ears back and refuse to go. So we do have to tap him again when he does that.
So another thing with him about that, he's been a little bit girthy and even brushing very tender under his stomach. So I'm not sure if the attitude is 100% attitude and doesn't have something else going on.
Yeah. Well, he's always kind of had that attitude.
Oh,
It's
okay.
better all the time. So that's always been him MO. I said when these guys got this horse, the people were riding him and just beating on him to the point, and he wouldn't go anywhere. He just learned to just take whatever they dished out and just refuse to move. So it's a bit of a psychological thing. I don't think there's. I mean, I've never seen anything wrong with this horse, but that can become a very psychological debilitating thing. In other words, when riders just beat on, once they turn off like he had done, And so they go, I don't care how hard you hit me, I'm never going to go. But we have to get them beyond that, doing it in the right way, not asking for too much at once, but still asking for a little more. Like right now, let's see if we can get the step a little further. He's kind of slowing down on you. Give him a little bit more. So tap him again. Give him a little stronger tap once. And when he pins his ears back, give him another little tap right away. Don't let him get away with sucking back like that.
Okay.
So that's kind of what they did before, but you gotta, the next hit has to be a little bit harder. I don't want you to cut the horse in half, but we have to. The idea, if we touch him at a certain level and he doesn't respond, well, you've got to increase the intensity of it a little bit. We have horses that just won't move at all. We don't want to be hitting them so hard that we're splicing them or something. But every horse has a little different level of sensitivity. Still a little bit more. Let's see if we can get that to open up a little bit more. Even a little bit more. Try to push his hindquarters out a little more. Try to get him a little more shoulder 4 on your circle. There you go, like that, and you get a bit deeper stretch. Good. And again, asking for it to be more active. Push his hindquarters away from you. We'll tap to move the hindquarters to the outside of your circle a little bit. That's how we get the inside hind leg. There, now it's getting better. There we go, like that. Much better now. Now stop and pat him on the neck. You got to the place. That was good. So be sure you always get to that. I've watched you a couple of times. We haven't done much of this, but you've got to be sure that this horse is responding, because we want him to respond that way when we start riding him. He's got to sort of connect the dots, if you will. And if we let him get away with that on the ground, he'll do the same thing when you get on him.
You want to change directions or go to?
Yeah. Change directions. Other way, looking for the same thing. So remember, we're always trying to yield those hindquarters a little bit to the outside. Because that's what gets that hind leg to actually step under, and he starts to push up in his back a little more. Good. Now, increase the activity of that. He's stretching, but there's not enough activity. It's too slow. So once again, the stretching is nothing without the activity. You can get a horse to stretch his neck down to the ground standing still, but that doesn't mean it's engaging its back and the muscles are doing anything. So that's why we see people who don't understand this work, they start by stretching the horse's neck down instead of starting by activating the back end, and then the stretch comes. Again, why it's so important to keep pushing him into that little shoulder 4 a little bit, keep asking that inside hind leg to step up, even a little bit more active. Even a little more, and that's it. Every time he gets resisted to it, tap him again a little stronger the next time. When he starts that little thing of, I'm going to pull my ears back and not work for you. Don't let him get away with that. That's getting better now. Keep it going. Good. Now we're getting some kind of walk. There we go, like that. There, starting to free up. Steps are getting regular. Keep making that a little more active as it comes around this corner there, starting to stall on a little bit. There, that's getting much better. Keep working that. Keep pushing the hindquarters to the outside. So remember to take up the slack in your reins. We want to always have the slack out of the reins. We don't want any pressure against the horse's mouth, but we want to feel the horse's mouth through the reins. We want him to take a positive contact, but there has to be something there, not just a loose rein, in order to feel that. There we go. Good. Now, just a little bit more active there, coming around this corner once. Yeah, there. Now, that time he responded to your whip.
Yeah.
And actually, instead of sucking back, started going faster. Good. You stop with that right there. Good. That was a good place to get to. So I think that will help a little bit. So when you're doing that, once again, remembering that just this horse will probably just put his head down standing there, but that doesn't mean he's coming through behind. They've always got to be sure that the back end is really working in the stretch, not just having their head down. Which is what you see bad Western riders do, where they have all kinds of devices that pull the horse's head down, tie downs, and all these kind of things. So they start at the wrong end. So yes, certainly you can get a horse's head to put his head on the ground, but that doesn't mean they're working over the back. It will facilitate it, but you still have to have them working enough to have that happen. Which is also why a lot of people who don't understand what we are doing here, they've seen Western riders doing the peanut rolling thing around the ring, and they think that's what this is, and it is not at all. Nothing could be further from the reality. The same thing here. Right away, you're trying to move those hindquarters out on the circle. So notice just as he's walking there, the shoulders are pulled outside of where the hindquarters are. That's what the horse always wants to do. It makes him easy to disengage the back end.
Wow.
And as I said, that's perfectly fine. If you have to tap him if he's not paying attention, it's no big deal that he goes into a trot for a moment. If you have to get his attention, then you just bring him back to a walk again. When you get him to sort of pay attention, if you will.
Wow. Wow. Good boy.
Now see if you can get him to walk out. That's more like it. Now with some horses like this one, we'll go ahead and bring him back to a walk another time. One more time. Good. Now put him right into a trot before he breaks again. That was our idea. There we go. Good. Stretch. Always trying to just move the hindquarters out a little bit on your circle. So we're trying to at least have both ends of the horse on the same circle. And then a little canter if he wants to. As long as he's not disconnected and falling on his head, it's okay. That's getting better. And once again, keep trying to yield his hindquarters just a little bit, holding them on a little smaller circle so you get them to move out a little bit so he starts to stretch. And then as he does, then you make it easier for him. So we want the horse to always think that if he goes along with what we're asking him to do, we will make it as easy as we can for him. That's where trust comes along the way. Good, keep that going. That's getting better. Good. Now go ahead and ask him to canter.
Canter?
The canter always improves him. So he has a good enough canter. He can't do that with every horse, but if the horse has a better canter than it trots, well, then you can canter. Now bring him back to a trot again.
Trot.
That's getting better. The swing. Every time his head pops up, bring him a little closer to you and yield his hindquarters again. Like that. So he gets back in the stretch and then let him out again. Same procedure every time. That's getting better. Same thing. Every time his head comes up, just push his hindquarters out a little bit. Better. Good. Good. Keep that going. That's getting better now. Keep it going. Same thing every time the head comes up, just bring him a little closer to you and yield his hindquarters a little bit. So he goes back into the stretch and then let him out again. And that's getting much better. Keep that. A little more active now. Always keep your eyes on the back legs. You always want to keep looking at what the back legs are doing. If you're keeping that good flexion in his hock. The hock should always look like a bicycle wheel going around. Someone riding a bicycle, so to speak. So when you see the hocks fall out behind the body, you know that he's disengaging. There, good. Keep that. That's looking better there. Right there's where we want it. Right there. That's right there. Really good. Keep that. Just like that. Really good. Keep that. Good. Really right there. Really nice. Really nice and loose. Really nice big flexion in the hocks. Making a circle. A little bounce. Notice how he's starting to bounce a little bit now? You see him lift off the ground a little bit. So understand that now he's stretched way down, but he's actually less on the forehand than he was when we started. Does that make sense? So many people, when they see a horse with a nose train, they say, oh, he's on the forehand because his nose is down. But you have to look at the rest of the body moving. When we started, he was taking little short steps, pulling himself along by his forehand. Now he's actually lifting himself up. That's really good. You can go ahead and let him walk and change directions. Good warm up in that direction.
Well,
Same thing with him this way. Go ahead into the trot. So with a horse like this, and him, you're going to get the best walk after the other work. You know, if he starts out with that kind of slow, ponderous, wanting to lead into you, go ahead and work him at the trot. And we want the kind of walk we want is the kind we ended up with in the other direction, where it was nice and active and he stayed in the stretch. The same thing here. Every time the head pops up, bring him a little closer to you. Notice his hindquarters are way to the inside in this direction. So there'll always be a little more that way in one direction than the other. So they get really evened out anyway. But some will be very pronounced in that way. Good. Keep it going. Better keep yielding his hindquarters. Notice when he looks that way, he looks to the outside, and his hindquarters really start to point at you. And always remember that that's what a horse is doing. They're kind of loading their gun. So a horse that won't yield its hindquarters away from you is threatening you all the time. Kind of horses, you know how they bring their hindquarters in like they want to do. They would kick you if you were closer. That's why we work on a lunge line and a lunge whip, so we can stay far enough away from young horses that we don't have to worry about that. Keep that going. That's looking good. Much better now. And go ahead and canter him in this direction.
Canter.
And back to trot again. And then on that stretch, yeah, good active trot there. Really nice. Keep that. Nice big swing in the trot now. Keep that. Good. Now let him walk again.
Oh, well.
Nice. Now notice how nice the walk is now for those few steps after all that. That's what, now when you get to the horse where you can start the walk like that, that would be worthwhile to going and doing. But when they're doing that little short strided thing where he doesn't want to move, it's better to just go into a trot and get it going. Okay, you can go ahead and stop there, and we're going to go ahead and move the side reins up to the upper position now. Of course, try to get a walk there when we first start out. If you can't, just go ahead and trot. You can go ahead and trot him. It's okay. Just move his hindquarters, get him out. I said he's one that you know it's better to get him going in the trot and canter and then work on his trot walk a little bit. And keep moving those hindquarters out a little bit so he starts to stretch into the contact in the upper position here. And now back to a trot again. Getting better. There we go. Keep that working. Just stretch into that contact. That's getting better. So notice that it's much harder for him to do this up in this, bringing his neck up like this. It's always how we have to evaluate the horse that's ready to do this. If he is, they'll stretch into the contact and we'll be able to keep it consistent. But with him, it takes a little bit to get there. But if we couldn't, we would know that he wasn't ready to do this. Keep trying to yield his hindquarters a little more than you're doing. Keep it going, getting better. Keep trying to yield his hindquarters a little bit. Good, now we're starting to get there. Keep that going. Bring him a little closer to you again and yield the hindquarters. That's better. Yeah, that's getting there, starting to stabilize. Good, keep that going. Now notice when we started this, his hind legs started falling out behind right away. Now that he's starting to stretch into it, the hind legs are staying under his body. That's good, keep that. And so we can evaluate our horse and kind of to see what we can expect, because we're asking him to come up into a working position, whereas where we want a horse to be most of the time when we're actually riding them. That's why we train horses from the ground until they have working gaits. We try to ride horses before they can hold themselves up. They have very little chance of being able to do it with the rider on at the same time. Really nice there. Good. Keep that going.
Good boy.
Now it's looking like something just like that. So that's how we'd like him to look when you're on there. Very nice. That's getting to a good place now. Really good right there. Excellent. Really good. Now that's looking really good. Excellent. That's really good. Keep that. Keep that activity. Really nice. Now go ahead and canter him once.
Canter.
Good. Yeah, that's looking better. There you go. He's starting to stretch into it a little bit. Better. Staying engaged. Now go ahead and come back to the trot again.
Oh, Trot.
Very nice. Good. Like I wanted to stretch into that. Good. Keep his back up. Now bring him a little closer to you on that little bit smaller circle. So you're like 5 feet in on each side, like a 30-meter circle, and try to keep that really nice and consistent like that. That's good. Very nice. So that's exactly how we would like him to go when we ride. Make it a little more active and just a little touch of the inside rein to bring. If you see his pole getting too low, then you just give a little upwards tug on the line there a little bit. Make it a little more active. Bring it a little closer to you and yield his hindquarters a little bit. Like that. Engaging the hindquarters is what solves most problems. Very nice. Right there. And let him walk.
Oh, walk.
And then go ahead and halt and watch how much better the walk is. Even if just a straight ride at the end, that's a good walk. Now go let him halt and change directions again. That got to a very good place. Just a little future thing about safety. Try not to drop your whip on the ground when you're working with horses. Just put the whip backwards under your arm so it stays with you.
Okay.
And if you do drop it on the ground, be sure that the horse is way away from you before you try to pick it up. What happens to many people is they reach down to pick that whip up and get kicked in the face.
Okay.
And don't laugh, because it happens to people all the time who aren't paying attention. So that's why it's very much more important to keep that whip on you. Just turn it around, just put it under your arm so you can kind of hold it in place while you're doing your maneuvers. As I said, or if you do drop it, just be sure that he's well away from you before you lean down to pick it up.
Okay.
Then go ahead and trot again. So once again, with him, once that walk starts getting ponderous like that, where he's not really going anywhere, go ahead and put him back in a trot and keep him moving so he doesn't, turn into a zombie on us, which is what he wants to do, kind of a little bit. And just like we did the other direction, you're trying to yield those hindquarters till he starts stretching in. One direction is going to be harder than the other. He's already starting to get to a good place there. That's good. Now, of course, if we couldn't get him to stretch into it up in this upper position, we would simply know that he's not ready to be up here, and we would simply lower the side reins. And we usually do go through an intermediate stage where I shorten him on the side more, but I was curious to see how quickly he could just move up here, and he's doing a good job. Excuse me. There we go. Now we're getting there. Good. So we have to think when we ride, as Mr. Oliveira used to always say, the best hands in the world work just like a pair of side reins. So if your legs are working and you can get the right things out of the horse, all you should have to do, once the horse has learned this, is keep your hands in that upper position there and steady. And if you can create the same amount of engagement out of him, he would go right into the frame. And that's how you want it to happen, not by anything of pulling backwards with the reins, as we see so many people doing these days. Yeah, that's good. That's getting there. Good. A little more active. Good. Once again, yielding the hindquarters a little bit. Right there. Good. 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 Keep that. Good. Keep it. Now go ahead and canter him a little bit in this direction.
Canter. Oh, I switched.
All right, he changed himself. That's all right. He used to counter cross canter all the time. I mean, not cross canter, but on the wrong lead all the time. He's getting good about it. Yeah, good. He's starting to stretch into that there. That's much better. Staying engaged. Now go ahead and bring him back to the trot.
Oh, Trot.
There we go. Very good. Bring him on that little bit smaller circle and just try to yield his hindquarters just a little bit more.
Easy. Oh.
Trot again. Settle just a little bit there. There you go. Good. We're getting there. You can see that's quite a bit harder for him in this direction. Stay with that. Trying to yield the hindquarters and slow it a little bit. You see when he starts to run, the hindquarters start falling out behind. Yeah. And so we slow him by yielding the hindquarters. That's getting better. There we go. Good, good. Keep that going right there. Good. Very nice. Keep that. Good. Keep it. Very nice. Now let him walk.
Oh, wow. Walk. Oh.
Good. Now let him just walk a few strides and just let him stretch into that a little bit to walk, if he will. Always try to use those good walks at the end when we got him all warmed up and going. Then is the time with this horse to work on his walk a little bit. So when you've got him in a good walk, he's active, he's stretching into the contact, and he's woken his body up and his mind. That's really good now. And that's really good. Could be a little stabler, but he's keeping some activity there. Go ahead, if he breaks, go ahead and trot again for a second. I'm going to bring him back. So notice the walk was kind of falling apart, so make him a little active again, getting back into a better trot. Now let him walk again.
Oh, walk. Walk.
And I'll try to keep that walk for a moment.
Walk. Just walk. Oh, walk.
Go ahead and trot him. A little reverse psychology. So when he does that, go ahead and make him trot a little harder again. Yield his hindquarters again, get him going, kind of forget about trying to make him stop. Instead, just get him to go again. And now ask for the walk again.
Oh, walk. Oh, walk.
Now, try prefacing your down. When you want to make a downwards transition, say, and walk. Like, preface your down. He's starting to hear me. And walk. Okay? So that brings your voice back. Because when you start saying, hoo, hoo, your voice goes higher, and the horse responds to that by getting more active, So when you want him to go slow, draw it out over your voice and say, and walk. Try that again. There you go. Good. Good. We can stop there and go ahead and let him stop, and we're ready to get you on there. Got to a good place. A little bit harder in this direction than the other. And just keep bringing him to you until he stops him in. Because we don't want to get fighting them with the bit and yanking on it. Just keep bringing them into you until they stop, and pretty soon they'll start stopping without having all that. That was good. Okay, if you're ready there, let's go large in the walk. And let's see how his walk is today. Yeah, that's starting off pretty good for him. Nice. Yeah, very nice. Keep working that. See if he'll stretch on down a little for you. Get that walk really freed. So we're looking for that same kind of big step that you had when you were working him in hand. Same kind of thing. So imagine what that was like, and just do the same thing from on top of him instead of from the ground. And think about what you're aiming for. Is that free walk and stretching out? It's just you don't feel that feeling of him wanting to stop every stride. That feels like it's going someplace. Just keep that going. And go on and go large up alongside with him. And go ahead and turn at the top by the center line and do a leg yield to the left. Use the leg yield to really get him to step over and under himself. So that's a better time to really get a little more out of than when you're just going straight. When you're just going straight, it's easier for the horse to do what he did just then when you tried to touch with your whip and he just humped his rear end up, but didn't actually do anything. Better walk now. Keep going. And leg yielding to the left. Yeah, that's coming. Good. Keep it opening up. Good. Use that leg yield to ask for a more active walk. Much better there. And go ahead on a circle there at E, big circle for a moment. Just see if you can ask him to stretch into the contact for a moment on the circle. Which, of course, is all about getting him to move away from that inside leg. Just stay on your circle and continue to try to make him more active. And remember, when you use your whip, tap him right behind your leg, not back on his hips. Right behind, yeah, right, that's the right place, right there. Get back on his hips, and then he wants to hump. Good, that's getting better, good. Keep opening that up. Again, he comes back up, just like we did from the lunge line, right away, ask again. When he goes into that stretch, even if it's only for a moment, then you just let everything relax for that 1 second that you feel it going right. And you feel that freedom. So we reward that, even if it's for a stride or two. Keep opening it up, even a little bit more. Getting better. Think about your work in hand, how much you had to tap him to get him to go, and once again also responding when he resists instead of listening to the thing. There you go, like that. Good. That's getting better. Keep opening it up. Same thing. Yield his hindquarters a little more to the outside of your circle. Yeah, like that. Good. That's better. Now, when you come around to this side, back over here to B, just take a diagonal line and change the rein on the diagonal. We call the short diagonal there. Changing up to the other corner, and then we're going to do the leg heel in the other direction. So when you get there, just take the diagonal line, turning to the right. And of course, trying to keep the same active trot, same active walk rather, throughout. And turning by the center line and leg yielding to the right. And look where you're going over there. When your leg yielding to the right, pick a spot that you're going to. There you go. Much better there. And then onto your circle. See if you can just get him to walk actively around that circle and into the stretch. Yield his hindquarters to the outside while you're doing it. Yeah. Keep working that. Getting better. Keep working that. Getting a little bigger. Good. Now, because he's the kind that's getting better, keep working on your circle. Just listen to me for a moment. Because he's the kind of horse that he is, as we saw just like when we worked from the ground there, we got a better walk after we did the trot. So that's what I'm going to suggest we go ahead and do some work, and then we'll come back to the walk in a minute. So go ahead and try to put him up into a trot. And we may even go on up in the canter. We'll see how we go. We get the trot moving. Just try to open that up, keep going. At the moment, his hind legs are kind of falling out behind him. You okay there?
Yeah, let me put this in my other pocket.
Okay. Whenever you're ready there, you can just put him into a trot as best you can. Now go ahead at the end of the long side and put him into a canter.
Put him into a canter, you said?
Yeah, go ahead and canter. Yeah. And just go larger on the ring once again. Stay off his back. That's what you're doing. That's how I want you to ride him, staying up off of him. And try to open that canter up a little bit. Try to get it a little more canter than he wants to just give you. And keep trying to let his head and neck come out. So there shouldn't be very much contact with your reins at all, just letting his neck go out in front of you as best you can. We do the same kind of thing that we did on the lunge line. Keep it going. See if you can open it up a little bit. Good. Like that. Keep that going. You're doing a great job. Just like that. Keep it going. Now bring him back to a trot again and see if we have a better trot. Yep, and we do. Keep that going. Very good. Very good. Very good. Now let him stretch out in front of you. You just stretch it up. Keep your hips coming through, but don't lean forward so he stays balanced. Keep rising the trot. Try not to float when you're a trot. Keep your seat coming through. Good, that's better there. There you go. Keep rising the trot. Keep your shoulders up. Much better. Good job. Keep that. Good. Keep it going like that. Good. Now go large down the long side. Try to lengthen a little bit on the long side. If you stay in the stretch, all I care about is the activities and movement. Yeah, like that. Good. So he starts to swing through. Really nicely done. Like that. Excellent. Good. Keep that. Loving it. Really good. Really good. Keep it like that. Like that. Good job. Keep that. Now let him come back to a walk. See what kind of walk we have now. Good. Much better. Now go ahead and change the rein on the next diagonal. Keep that active walk going as much as you can. That was really good. So what we see with this horse, just like we saw on the groundwork, he canters better than he does everything else. So if we get the canter freed up, everything else comes better along with it. So once again, every horse is a little different. Some horses have such bad canters that we can't canter them at all in the beginning. This one is not that way. And what a nice walk we have now afterwards. It's just getting his mind to free up and let the energy flow through him. Really good. Keep that going, just like that. And when you get on the next long side, go up into a trot. That's good. Just like we did the other way, just if you're going to the stretch, good. If he'll give you the stretch, good. And I'll try to make it a little more active. And let's go ahead and canter with him. Same thing as we did the other way. I think trot will be better after we canter him. Good. And once again, stay up off his back, so he's in a bit of a 2-point, 3-point position, but you're not putting any pressure on his back. Keep him cantering like that. Trying to get a little on the long side, see if you can get it to open up just a little more so the canter's a little stronger than he wants to give you. Good. 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 Much better. Now come back to a trot again on this long side. Good. And let him go right into the stretch if you will. You stretch up. Keep your hips coming through in your rising trot. Good. So feel that push coming through the back. Keep it going. Yep. Very good. Very good. Keep that going. Now try to lengthen the stride down the next long side in the trot. In other words, just think of it as going a bit faster at the moment. So your seat should take a longer stroke. So as you come out of the saddle, you ask with your legs, and your seat takes a longer stride, like that. Good. Very nicely done. Very good. Very good. Keep that going, like this. Very good. Keep it going right through here. Good. Very nice. Now I want you to actually bring his pole up a bit and put your hands together in front of you and let his pole come up and see what happens when you do. Don't pull back on him, but just bring his pole up. Keep it up. Keep going. And just shortening your reins a little bit. Just think of it as just raising your hands a little bit. Just bring his pole up a little bit. Comes up in a little better frame like that. Let him come up a little bit more. See if you'll maintain the trot. Come on up like that. In other words, we're doing just what we did on the lunge line. That's good. Keep that. Not too bad. Keep it. And about midway down, if you'll keep that, that's better than I've seen before. So good. When you get to the end of this long side again, ask him to canter. Anywhere you like there. And same thing, just getting off his back. I'm trying to get a little more than he wants to give you on the long side. If they'll open up a little bit, great. When summer comes, you take him outside and gallop this horse in the field. Great for him. Keep that going. Keep that going. Now come back to a trot again at the end of this long side. Get your hands come together in front of you so we'll keep him up a little bit and try to work with that energy. That's good. Right there. There. He's dropping into a good frame right there. Now go ahead and circle right there. See if you can maintain that. That's really good. Really good. Like that. Starting to stall a little bit. If he starts to stall, let his head drop down and ask him with your leg to go on active again. Good job. Now go ahead and keep that. Change the rein on the diagonal now. Good. Right there is where we want him. That's not a bad working trot for him. First time I've seen him do it. Good job. Very nice. And you can let that pole stay up there, that mid position if you like, with him, as long as he doesn't stall out too badly. Keep it going, starting to be a little more active. Now again at this long side, ask him to canter again. That's really getting good. Good job. And go large. Same thing, just opening it a little bit on the long side to give you a little bigger stride. All good. Very nice. Now halfway down this long side, bring him back to the trot again. Once again, keep your hands in front of you up there, and we'll see if you can come into a working position. Like that. Really good. Keep it going now. Rising trot. Excellent. Excellent work. Keep that going. Really good right there. Really good. Keep it right there. You're doing a wonderful job with it. Keep it right there. Just going large. Then get straight in front of you. Like that. Good job. Circle there in the center now. Or wherever you are if you're at the end. Good. Really nice. And just try to keep that in mid position again. There. Really good. Like that. Good job. Very nice. Very nice. Now let him stretch all the way down and keep that going. Stretch up and let him stretch all the way down. Fantastic. Like that. Very nice job. Keep it going. Back into stretch again. Stretch your. He starts sucking back. Remember, you can get behind the motion a little bit with your upper body. Good. Keep that going. Now bring your hands back up again. Bring him back up, centered in front of you. Like that. Really good. Now we're going to try to turn after the center line here and just do a little bit of a leg yield to the right. I don't care if you get the center line, but whatever you get there on the quarter line, just get a couple of strides over in a leg yield. So it's pretty good right now. Keep that going. Keep that going. Really good. Keep it going. Keep it going. He starts to stall. Yeah, good job. Not a couple of good strides there. Now go ahead back in the canter again. Go large again in the canter. Keep it going now. Same thing on the long side. Just try to get a little bigger stride than he wants to give you. See if you can get to open up free again. And once again, keep going large. Go all the way through the short side this time. And when you get on the next long side, bring him back to trot. Bring his hands together in front of you and see if you'll drop back into that nice working trot again for you. And again, trot. Right there. Good activity. Right there. Excellent. Keep that. Really good. Right there. Keep rising. Don't let yourself float in your rising trot. Be sure your shoulders are coming back enough that you feel your seat centered underneath you. Good, like that. Keep that there. Keep him there. Go ahead and circle now once and see if you can maintain that working position for a moment. Feel like you're losing it. Yield his hindquarters a little bit to the outside. Give him a little tap to get a little more energy out of him. There. Good. Good. Really good. Keep that. Keep it active. Go ahead and stretch him again. He got a little bit disengaged there for a moment. So let's let him have a stretch again. Good, like that. Now go ahead and go large in the stretch. Let him stay in the stretch and go large. And stay in that stretch and go ahead and change the rein across the next diagonal. Excellent. Keep it going. Just keep it going as you make the change. Just try to keep that same energy flowing through him without making too many demands on his physique, so to speak, by asking him to come up too much. Good. Go ahead and keep that. Good. Much better. Good trot. Nice. Good. Now try to lengthen the stride in the trot down the next long side so you get more push off of his back end. He's starting to pull his front end a little bit. So a little tap and see if you can get him to push off a little harder. There you go, like that. Yeah, like that. Good, good. Much better. Now bring him back up a little bit and right into a canter again. Much better frame. Good. And go large. Once again, just trying to open on the long side a little bit to some degree if we can, getting a little more out of him than he wants to just give you. Is that going? Now towards the end of the long side, bring him back to the trot again, and once again trying to let him come right into that working trot. So your hands coming together in front of you, like that. Good, right there. Good. Take that circle there. Really, really good. Really good. Right there. Excellent. Keep it just like that as you make that circle. Good. Keep it there, active, good job. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Little tap to get him off of your inside leg a little bit. Start to fill out with the shoulder a little bit. Keep that right there, good. I'm loving it. Keep it there. Go large and just maintain that upper position like that. Keep it together there in the working position right there. Good, 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 good. And walk. And just stop and dismount. So I want you to get off before he gets ponderous. That was by far the best this horse has gone. That was a fantastic ride today, Hannah. Really, really nicely done.
Good job, buddy.
What a good boy. And get Ron out there and we'll have a little chat. But that, I couldn't be happier. That got to a really great place. And just what he needed. You see how much the canter improves him. So I said, every horse is a little bit different. We see what works with each one of them. That's what makes this an art. If they were all just machines that we put in the new part and it's going to run the same, but it doesn't work that way with horses. They have their physical body, then they also have their mentality, which in his case was that he was just whipped and whipped and whipped until he just, wasn't going to do anything. That was by far. Ron, that was fantastic today. What did you think, buddy?
On him, he's doing awesome. Can't wait to get back on him.
Now, the one thing I see is he's losing a bit of weight, and he's looking almost like a little too thin.
Yep.
So I'm aware of that. I think he could maybe have a little more groceries from what I saw today. He looked quite thin. So keep that in mind. If you see him, certainly don't want him any thinner because his belly's really coming up there now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he still needs more top line. So his belly's coming up, but he still needs more muscle on his top line. So that tells me he might need a little more grocery time on this particular week. We always have to keep looking at horses to see how they're doing. For a while, couldn't keep the fat off of him, but now every time I'm seeing his belly's coming up more and more. And I said today it was almost a little, he looked a little bit thin, not terribly, but just that he might need a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean we're adjusting the food as it goes, and it's the amount of hay he's eating. Sometimes he'll eat what's in the stall, sometimes he doesn't. But we did add some beet pulp back to his grain, so.
Right.
But yeah, he's doing good.
And also, beet pulp is not energy food. Beet pulp is fat gaining food and that kind of thing. So, and I grew up feeding horses, 30 pounds of grain a day. It's how we used to do it,
Yeah.
And everybody's very afraid of that these days. But, when we need horses to have more energy, they're not going to get it just from eating carbs or whatever. I mean, that's like people, they need some protein and that sort of thing.
Well, he's on Balancer that's got protein in it, and we just added a little bit extra calories in there to help supplement the hay that he hasn't been eating. So.
Well, and what I'm saying is what I would increase is not the hay. I would increase the grain a bit.
A little bit more grain.
With this type of horse, because this kind of a horse is a low energy horse. We want to keep building his energy up. So, we want him fed like a racehorse as time goes on here, in order to get him energy. And this is something that people have really gotten away from. People today are very afraid of horses getting too high on them and this sort of thing. But, we want horses to have some energy. We want them to want to move, you know what I mean? And if we feed them nothing but hay, well, they're not gonna. They need protein, food. That's that and grain. As I said, in old days, when we fed nothing but hay before we had alfalfa hay. I mean, my competition's horses probably got 30 pounds of grain a day, on top of what they got in hay. So always bear that in mind. But really great with him today. I couldn't be happier. Hannah, you're doing a great job. He's looking better every time I see him. Really super work today. Any questions further?
Hang on a second.
I got it. I was talking. So, Will, did he tell you about the ulcers too for Duke or no?
I'm sorry,
we
just what?
talked about it last week that we'd be treating him for ulcers.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
exactly. So that can help too, yeah.
We were just talking about this though. So I have noticed that he doesn't really want to eat hay. Like he doesn't eat what is in his stall sometimes, which is unusual for him. And also outside, I think I was mentioning this before, he's really funny. He doesn't eat it, which leaves Calvin to eat it. So now we have double the problem. But the other thing is, Hanna was noticing how sensitive he was on his flank today when she was getting him ready. So I'm really worried that the ulcers are, I don't know, like it doesn't seem to be helping too much what we're doing. We're giving him the ulcer treatment, the ulcer guard, or the gastro guard, like we're supposed to. But it's almost like he started getting better and now he started decreasing and not doing as well. So I don't know.
Well, so along with that, did you change his food in some way? Like it started getting into hay or something? Or just
the only thing I did recently was I started adding like a scoop of, so Reese gets this like soak of beet pulp and alfalfa. So like a spoonful, like a big spoonful, like a serving spoonful of that I put into his food. But I'm not adding a lot, but I just figured the alfalfa can't hurt at this point.
What about that other stuff?
Well,
yeah, that's true too.
So there's also this supplement that she's been given Calvin and Reese
for a long time. It's a gastro supplement.
So
but
maybe that's interacting with the
Could be. Maybe I just stopped doing that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
One thing at a time.
Or maybe he just needs some more grain. Maybe he needs more power food. I was saying maybe, it says.
But don't you think it's weird that he stopped eating hay? Like he's just not eating as much hay.
Well, what does he like to eat? What is he eating lots of?
Well, he used to eat hay fine. This is kind of a newer thing,
Huh.
So it's kind of I've just been noticing it. Maybe we need to contact the vet too, just to see.
Is it the same hay?
Yeah, same hay.
Same hay, same place it's coming from.
It's the same batch. I think it might be that additional stomach stuff is like reacting. Maybe it's just reacting.
Yeah, too much.
Well, what I'm saying is that what I'm seeing is his belly was very drawn up today, and it was more so than it was last week, and so it's getting so that to me, and he's not, when you take away the fat, so what you see now is you take away the fat, and you still see that he doesn't have a lot of top line, that we still need to build a lot more top line on this horse. There's still a little bit of that dip behind the saddle there. Not as bad as it used to be, but it's certainly better than it was. So as I'm saying, it may be that he needs more power food rather than just all this. I mean, hay is filler, and when we want to get, and all these supplements, I mean, some of them are good, but a lot of them are just a waste of time. I mean, quite honestly, people just throw all these supplements at me. Well, let's try this one, that one. When maybe the horse just needs some more grain, maybe he needs some food to get him some energy instead of all these supplements and various things like that. Does that make any sense at all?
Makes total sense.
If we feed horses nothing but hay, they become very poorly. Hay does not build muscle. Hay is not muscle building food for horses. They need more protein in their diet in order for that to happen. In my opinion. Anyway.
Makes total sense.
So just throwing them, supplement after supplement. Supplements don't. If there's something really the horse needs, well, that's the supplement that you give them. But if they don't need all that stuff, it's just going through their body and you're spending a lot of money for nothing. But the supplement is not. it may help the digestion or something, so the food is works better on them. But if you don't give them the food, still, if you're not eating anything but hay and as you said, a spoonful of something, well, that's nothing. A horse is a big animal. I said, we used, I said in my life, we used to feed horses, and of course, people got on this whole kick, which I think some of is people people trying to train horses by feeding them, starving them to make them quiet, never giving them anything but grass hay to make them quiet. Well, that's not training. That's just, another way of dumbing a horse down so they don't feel like, I want my horses to feel good. I want them to come out there and, and feel like they want to jump out of their skin. Because then I know when they work for me, that it becomes fun, right? But if they're still out, if they don't have any desire to move at all, then we're just kind of flogging a dead horse, if you will. So you might want to think about those things and experiment with upping, the grain food a bit like that and less supplements. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, it makes total sense.
They're all a little different. We have to experiment. But as I say, what I'm seeing in his conditioning is that, he's lost all his sort of baby fat looking stuff. And now we see what's really there. And at the same time, he's getting his belly's coming way up and, he's not putting as much top line as we would like. So that is a dietary. So talk this all over with your vet. I'm not a veterinarian. They all have their ideas about all this stuff, but, ask him about those things. Tell him the horse is looking a little, to me, he's looking a little more poorly rather than the other way around.
Yeah.
He's looking like he's lost a lot of something, but there's nothing replacing it at this moment. He's just looking like he's lost a lot, or a bit.
Well, we got a couple things we could look at, so for sure.
Yeah,
so,
good.
Okay.
All right, great
job. So
job.
we'll get ready for a rider change then.
No problem. All right,
Thank
see you very
you.
soon. But great job today, Hanna. You're doing a great job with him. He was the best I've ever seen him go today.
Thank you.
Do we need a break, or are you ready to go with the next one?
We need a break real quick here.
So you're going to take a minute or two?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, Will. We're live.
Hey, are we live?
Yep.
Okay, we're back once again with Darcy and Calvin. How's your week gone with him?
Pretty good, actually. I got good rides in on Saturday and Sunday, and then we did our last lesson on Thursday. Got good rides Saturday, Sunday, and then yesterday I just lunged him actually.
All right, sounds like it was good then. All right, well, let's start off with lunging then. We'll just do that to start with.
Okay.
Warm him up a little bit. Great.
Okay, come on, Calvin. Come on. Okay, come on. Walk on. Walk on. Oh, hold on a second. He just shook off the Pixio thing.
Oh, it'll be on TV today. Reluctant movie star.
Yeah, right. He's like, I'm just going to get rid of that. Okay, I think that's good. Let's try that. Okay, Calvin. Walk on. Come on. Let's go. I gotta get my... You're not looking very enthusiastic today. Come on. Let's see if he's gonna go.
Yeah, looks like he wants to try.
I don't think you do, because you would have positioned himself.
Got a halfway there, stop. Like he's been out in a little mud today.
Yep. It's so hard at this point in time.
I don't know if you saw the picture I put up of Karen's place up there in Oregon. In the snow yesterday.
I did see it, yeah. How's she doing?
She's doing good, but it's just frustrating. She finally got the ring where she could work, though. It still has to have another layer, but she can work it like this until it can be done. But then can't do anything when it snows this hard.
Yeah.
But they're looking good. All getting it all worked out. Happily, these new people got the rings at least level.
Yeah, that's good.
Good time around.
And walk. Walk on. Big walks. Good boy. Yeah.
Nice big walk there. There's what we're talking about. Really nice big walk. Very nice. Go ahead and ask him to trot.
Ready? I think he's going to poop, actually. Yep, this time I do think he's going to, but...
Might be the real thing this time.
Maybe. Okay, come on. Big walk. Ready? Come on, Trot.
Does he ever answer back when you ask him if he's ready? Like his belly's coming right up, though. Looks good, Max.
It's my prep word.
Yeah. Very nice. You can get it just a little bigger, so you can get a little more push out of him there. Open up the stride a little bit. There we go. Go ahead and ask him to canter.
Ready? Canter.
And let him come back to the trot again.
And trot.
Yeah, that's more like it. There we go. Good trot. Good, keep that. A moment or so. And you can let him walk.
And walk. Walk on.
Right.
Oh boy.
And then let him halt and change directions. Now, of course, when I'm not here with you, feel free to work on the walk as long as you like. I try to get through this stuff as quickly as we can so we can get on to the next stage. But as I said, always reminding, when you're working on your own, feel free to spend 10 minutes doing that walk if you like.
I do spend more time. Sometimes I've been spending more time bring them up. I've been trying to spend a little more time and teach him that working walk.
Yeah.
Since I think it always becomes a problem on your saddle.
Yeah.
It's just harder to maintain the momentum.
Yeah, exactly. Well, just like you saw with the last one that we worked today, coming back to the canter and coming back to it, whatever. With these kind of horses that don't have a lot of natural go, we've got to work them a little differently than one that's ready to go to the racetrack.
Walk on. Walk.
There. Okay. Go ahead and put him in a trot just to get him over that. So this will come back to the walk in a minute. And once again, a little more active.
And trot.
There we go.
Come on.
And go ahead and canter him.
Ready? Canter. Oh my gosh, so dramatic.
And go ahead and bring him back to the trot again.
And trot.
That's a better trot. More like it. I'll go ahead and canter him again. One more time in this direction.
Canter.
That was a little better transition. And go ahead and let him come back to a trot again. Keep that. Bring him a little closer to you and just get him to work a little harder on a little smaller circle there for just a moment. Bring him up. Good there. And go ahead and let him walk, and we're ready to halt and put the side reins on in the upper position.
And walk.
Much better walk now.
finally cleaned and conditioned my side reins, so they should be easier.
Right. Very good.
I was just thinking, though, I'm not sure what I left them on, so I might have to check the hole they're on. Oh no, that's actually the one we've been doing for starting out anyway.
Right.
Just want to check to see. I think I got these on 2 different. I'll tell you, even though I conditioned these like 3 times, they're still really stiff. They weren't when I was inside, but I think because of the weather.
Yeah.
Sorry, Calvin. I didn't mean to be so jarring. Yeah, I thought we had a great workout on Saturday and Sunday.
Excellent.
Let's see. And so I was glad. I was proud of myself and him because we worked through. It was very windy that day.
Oh, nice.
And he was a little nervous when I first brought him in here, but we worked right through it. And
Walk is starting to activate very nicely. Just keep that walk going for a moment. That's actually quite good for him. He needs to stretch into it a little more. There we go. Good.
good boy.
Go ahead and trot.
Trot.
Good. Like it. Keep that going. Very good. And just try to yield his hindquarters a little bit. Trying to push those hindquarters out there a little bit. Can be better.
And trot. Good boy. Yeah, you kind of have to.
Keep that going. Good. That's coming nicely. Keep that going. Very nicely now. Very good. Good. That's coming really nicely. Go ahead and let him walk.
Walk.
Not much better walk after that. Now go ahead and let him halt and change directions again. Good. That's coming around quite nicely. And go ahead and trot.
Trot.
Just trying to yield those hindquarters a little bit more again. More active. There we go. Good. That's coming better. Really nice.
Good trot. Good trot. Good boy.
Very nice. Keep that going. Really nice now. That's getting really good. Keep that. Really good. Keep that. Just a little more power in it so you can get a little more energy out of it. That's coming beautifully. Not a good boy. Very nice. Keep that right there. Go ahead and ask him to canter.
Canter.
Very nice. Very nice. Keep that going. That's actually quite good. And back to a trot again.
And trot.
Very good. Excellent. Right there. Keep that. Just bring him a little closer to you. Push the hindquarters out a little more. Just get a little more power in it. We should make the circle a little bit smaller. That. Good. More power in it. Good. Very good. Keep that going. Very nice now. So whenever you see him kind of curl behind the bit a little bit, it means you need to push his hindquarters out and get a little more activity so his pole comes up a little. Like that. Really good. There. Yeah, good job. And make your circle a little smaller, so keep him in about 5 feet on each side so you control that. Very good. Keep it going. Push his hindquarters out just a little bit. A little bit smaller circle. There. Good. Good job. Keep that. Excellent. And let him walk.
Yeah,
walk. Nice. There's a good walk right there. Excellent. That's wonderful. There's the walk we want right there. Very nice. And you can let him halt and you're ready to get on. That was great.
And
Now, we could take those up a little shorter, but I don't want to today. That was so good. He got to a good place. You know, you can experiment with that a little bit, you know, over the days and just take him a little shorter and see how he does. But we had him a little too short last time. I really liked where he dropped into that right there. But he could come up a little more, but I don't want to do it today.
yeah.
It was so good to put you up there.
It's weird. I'm used to being able to look at this TV in front of me and see a big Will in front of me. I don't see you. So you feel a little more like the Wizard of Oz today than normal. Not sure where to look.
Mm-hmm. We have a little sun peeking out at my house. First time we've seen the sun in about 3 days. We've had nonstop rain here.
I know. I saw your post. That's really amazing in a way. You've had so much rain.
It's just been amazing. It's filled all the reservoirs. I mean, it's like the drought is over for us for a year anyway, for a couple of years. But down here, it's been perfect. No heavy rain. It's just been this perfect kind of nonstop rain for 3 days.
That's amazing.
Now they've gotten much more of the heavy stuff north, but for here, it's been absolutely perfect. You know, like an inch of rain a day coming down.
That's great.
Slow and steady.
So glad for the farmers out there.
Yep, everybody. We don't have any farmers here, but
oh, not near there.
What kind of farmers you guys think of? But yeah, but things can be watered. Yeah.
Hey, stand.
I must say, I'm going to be ready for summer to get here this year. Long, cold winter for us.
I kind of feel that way too, because Ron being injured.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of work. It's ironic because I think the week before something, and I don't on my own. And then like that week, he got hurt. So I'm doing it on my own.
There you go. Got to be ready. Keep you in shape. Never a dull moment. All those things.
Yep, exactly. Oh, okay. Well, we can go from there. I normally turn you with a little more wiggle room. I'm going to try this, but I might have to tighten that one, so I'll leave those open until I get on.
Yep.
Calvin, I don't have anything.
He's a good patient boy. Getting better about standing there for you.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to tighten this just one. It's so much easier to tighten when I'm on him. Okay. Now we're good.
Excellent. All right. Already starting off in a pretty nice walk. For him, that's a pretty nice active walk. Just keep that going as you go large. And go ahead and turn by the center line since you're up there and do a leg heel to the right. Going well enough to begin that. Very nicely done. Keep that step going. Really nice. Very good. Very good. And go large. Now go ahead and put your whip in your outside hand, and from the next long side, we're going to leg yield away from the rail to the center line. Always a little harder with some of them. Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't understand me. I meant to go to stay on the rail, and we're going to leg yield away from the rail. But that's okay. Go ahead and go. You're right. Go ahead. Go to the left. We'll do it from the other side. A little more active in this direction. The tap when you feel it slowing down. Letting lead too much with the shoulder. It's almost got the shoulder out too much at the moment. Let's go ahead down the center line and do that one again. That's better. Keep that going all the way to the rail. Keep it going. Good. Now this time, change your whip to the outside hand, but go all the way to the long side, and we're going to leg yield from the long side to the center line.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep that going. Trailing the hindquarters a little bit, try to move them over a little bit, but the activity is actually quite good. Keep that going like that. Good job. Now go straight down the center line and turn to the left at the top. Lengthen the stride and the walk down the next long side. So really just try to get him to really stretch out and open up that walk. Oh, that's nice. What a nice big walk he has there. Go ahead over to the other side, change your whip, and leg yield to the left. Really a very good walk today.
It's funny going down that wall. I'm pretty sure it's because Ron is doing food. So I think he's like,
no,
is that where we're going?
And leg yielding to the left from the long side. Top of your whip there and keep the hindquarters stepping over. Hindquarters, hindquarters, hindquarters. There you go. Keep it going like that. Much better. Track to the right at the top and shoulder in down the next long side. Shoulder 4. So that your shoulder in may not be a shoulder in today, but it will eventually. Shoulder 4 just means inside. When we have the bend over the entire length of the horse's body, then we call it a shoulder in. When they're still kind of keeping their body straight, it's really a leg yield. So we call it a shoulder 4 just to differentiate. Good. That's really coming very nicely. Keep that going. Now go ahead and start to bring his pole up. Start to bring your hands together in front of you. Letting his pole stay up a little bit. We begin to develop a little more of a working walk from him. I love the walk you've got right now in terms of the activity of it. For him, that's really good. And go ahead and go large, keeping that working walk. And keeping the working walk, change the rein across this diagonal. And shoulder in down the next long side. And now we're beginning to ask for that working walk, just keeping his pole up a little bit, keeping the activity, so he will begin to drop and soften into your hand. If everything else his preparation has been correct, that's what will happen. Very nice. Very nice. Keep that going now. Right there, keeping about midway down the working walk. That's really good. This is the best walk I've seen this horse do. This is really a good walk today. There's a little different quality to it. Nice, keep that. Now go straight down the center line and change the rein. Always remember it's a good idea we do so much from the center line, so it's a good idea to be sure we can also go straight down the center line every now and then. They don't think we're always going to do a leg yield every time we turn down the center line. I ask for a little bit more activity in that walk, going straight there, tracking to the right, and we're going to do a shoulder in down the next long side, keeping his pole up a little, developing the working walk a little further, as long as we can keep the activity. Come on, camera, get that. There you go. Now shoulder in, letting the pole come up a little bit higher. Good, letting your range shorten just a little bit, keeping your hands out in front of you, but of course in the position that we would have for this position, which means he's bent, so you range a little bit to the inside. That's really quite good. Keep that. Good. Keep that working walk as you go large. Try not to let it lose impulsion. It's losing a little bit there, so stretch yourself up through your body and give him a little touch with your leg and your whip if you need to back him up and get a little more power in it so he comes up under your back a little bit more. Keep that going. Good. In the middle of the short side, ask him to trot rising. In the camera. Oh, there you
go. Come on. Trot.
Now. We're trot. I'm giving you a good walk. Lazy about the trot. There you go. Get it moving. And right away, let's go. Let's work for a stretch in the trot here. Not bad. Better trot there already. And just go on a big circle there. Let's work him into a stretch for a moment. Stop thinking about dinner. A little more activity. Yeah, there we go. Actually, if he'll just stretch into a working trot, I'm happy with that too either. But go ahead and stretch him down now since we're halfway there. Good. Keep that going. A little more power in it. Needs a little more activity, so give him a little tap with your whip. Needs to get a little more power coming through. There we go. That's coming very nicely. So once again, there we need to get him in a stretch all the way down. He's kind of sucking back a little bit now. So get him ahead of your legs and just work on the stretch for a minute. We get that freedom going. This takes that little bit of a minute. Okay, keep going. There you go. Now we're starting to look better. Now go on a big circle there. Once again, let's take him on the circle and see if we can get the stretch all the way down again. Soften to move those hindquarters to the outside. There we go, getting there. A little deeper again. Tap. There we go, like that. Good. Much better now. Keep that power. Now to add a little power to that once you get him working through this whole top line like that, and see if we can get a little bigger. Again, a little more activity, just not quite there yet. A little more. Come on, give him a tap with your whip behind you. Get a little more out of him. Got to get a little more power generated out of his hindquarters. Keep going. Now, there you go. That's getting better. Good. Keep that. Good, 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 good. Now it's getting better. Like that. There we go. Good job. Much better there. There. Keep that going. Very good. Like that. Good. There. Much better. Now go large. Now just bring them up from that. But try to keep that power that you have right now. In other words, what you feel like in the stride. All I want you to do now is change it. Just shorten your range a little bit and let his pole come up. Turn out to the center line and do a leg yield to the left. Good. Keep that going. Very nice. Keep that. Use the leg yield to help you get a little better frame, like that. In other words, getting a little more over his back, a little steadier in the bridle right there. It's good. Keep that. Excellent. Really good frame right there. It's good for him. Keep that. Go large. Now try to lengthen a little bit up this next long side. A little power. Add a little power. Try to push your seat through a little stronger. Your seat takes a little longer stroke itself. That's how we indicate for the horse to take a longer stride. There. Getting back into that stretch again. Good. Now bring him up. Let him come just midway. Bring your hands together and shoulder forward down the next long side. Good, good. Let's pull come up a little bit. Bring him up a little bit from where he is right there. There you go. Good. I like that. Good, good, good. Right there. Good. Keep that. Excellent. Right there. That's the way. Get him off of your leg when he tries to do that. Good job. Now lengthen again a little bit down this next long side. Build a little energy. Top of your whip there and push your seat through a little stronger. Getting a little more active. He opens up the stride a little more. There. That. Very good. That's better there. Good. Now change the rein across the next diagonal. And stay about right there. It's fine. About midway down. As long as you're not stalling. Very nice.
I think my stirrups are very different lengths, actually.
Want to stop and adjust them?
I think I need to. I was trying to work through it, but my left one is a lot longer than my right.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. That always makes you lopsided. Yeah, go ahead and maybe is anybody there coming and help change that?
I would try to do it from here, but I don't think it's going to be that easy. Let me just double check, but it feels like it. Yeah, they are.
That's what happens when you clean your tack. Everything gets not stuck together, right?
It actually makes me wonder if the left one was better. It was a little longer, but I don't know.
Try it.
I'll try this and see. I know, right? It's so funny that, yeah, the last time I cleaned my tack, I had like these stirrups are those ones that go in a certain direction. I had them on the wrong way. No, I just had to change my stirrup length because I had it messed up. Ron was talking to me, in case you were wondering what that was. Ron thought we were all done already.
No. No, we're not. We're just getting started.
Okay, better.
Yeah.
Now Calvin's probably like, oh, we're done.
Yeah, we were done. So try to get a little decent walk there for a moment. Reminding him. Not bad at all. Good. Good. Now bring him up from that walk. Bring him up more into a working position. Good. And when you get in the middle of the short side, ask him to trot. Now try to build some energy in him before you ask for the trot, so that when you ask the trot, then your legs just come together and boom, and away you go. So it's all about preparation. Now I know with a horse like this, it's difficult to get him to keep that energy. For some reason, every time you go through that corner, the camera, that got you again. Yeah, that's all. Keep it going. And go large. A little bit more activity. So if he's not stretching into the contact with your hand, we know we have to create a little more energy behind to get more push through his top line for that to happen. There you go, like that. Now go ahead and turn after the center line and leg yield to the left. Very nice. Notice how he gets in a little better frame because the leg yield is what it's for. It's getting his back engaged a little better. Keep that trot now. Go large. And shoulder forward down the next long side. And good. That's about midway down. About right there is good. What a good boy. And shoulder four on the next long side. Good. That's it. Good. Change the rein across the next diagonal. Stay in the working trot. In other words, keep him here. Don't let him stretch. Maintain that frame as we change the rein. Always a little difficult when the horse straightens there for a minute. And changing your rising diagonal. Good. Keep that going. Add a little bit of power. He lost a little power in the change there. So just go large for a minute. Do a shoulder in down the next long side and do that shoulder in and ask for a little more energy in the shoulder in. Use the shoulder in to get him pushing up into you a little more. Good, much better. There you go, like that. Keep that going. That's good. You know you're starting to get this when the trot gets better rather than worse when you do the shoulder in. Here we go. Now let's give him a stretch all the way down for a moment. Go ahead and take him on a circle there. Stretch him all the way down. Your leg. Move the hindquarters to the outside a little bit. Good. Now really keep that power in the trot. Add a little power even though he's in that stretch. Give him a little tap. Keep your shoulders back and get a little more out of him. A little more, take a little more contact. That is, take the slack. When I take that, mean that. When I say that, I mean take the slack out of the rein so you can communicate with him. So we never just ride around on a floppy rein. We always want to keep the slack out of the rein so we can communicate with the horse, but without trying to pull him into some kind of frame. Like that. We work the frame from the back forward. Nice, and go large again. And let his pole come up a little bit while you're on the wrong side. Keep that power, maybe a little tap, a little power from your legs. In the middle of the next long side, ask him, short side there, ask him to canter. Don't think about it, don't overthink it. Keep the power in the horse. All as you sit in the saddle is the moment to ask. Not enough preparation that time. So it's just he didn't have enough energy to get the canter. So go back and try again. So give him a tap with your whip now. He didn't answer you, so you want to give him a little tap, get a little more impulsion in him again. So he's a little more prepared. And that's a better trot. Now ask him to canter. Much better, and go large. You got it that time. And just keep it going. See if you can keep him going large around the arena. So, now with him, you probably want to. It would be nice to get off his back, but you've got to be sure he's moving. With him, you might be better off staying in the saddle a little bit for the canter because you kind of come from a 2-point, he kind of dies on you. So you've got to really be sure he's ahead of your leg in the canter when you go into a 2-point, or he'll kind of die out. So let's go ahead and try that canter again when you get to the same place. Once again, prepare it, get a little more energy in the horse, bring his pole up so he's not so far down, bring him more of a working trot. Now ask him to canter again. Just not enough preparation. Again, try again. He was just too flat when you got there. Now give him after that, give him a couple of taps now. Wake him up. Say you didn't answer me. So you get him off of your inside leg again, with a little more power in it. We'll tap now, prepare it, keep the energy there, and try again.
Canter.
Now that was too much voice and not enough leg. Try again. So once again, after you miss it, you got to give him a couple of taps and get him off of that inside leg again. Get him listening to you. Bring his pole up. You know, when I'm doing the canter, we don't want at this point cantering from the stretch. Keep him up a little bit. He uses that kind of against you. There you go. Good. Almost. Try again. Back to the same place. Now shorten your reins. Shorten your reins. Get your hands in front of you. There. Slack out of the reins. What happened there? You okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let's forget the cantering and getting moving again. Forget that for a second and just go large again. I just want to get you lengthening again, getting back to where he's in the mode to canter. So when you go down the next long side, I want you to lengthen the stride again. Just hold up a little bit. He's kind of acting like he might need to go. Kind of the tail's starting to come up a bit. Give him a benefit of doubt once and stop him and see if he does or not. Or is he just playing games? Yeah, okay, move on. We don't want to. Let's go ahead and change directions for a second, just to change his mind from what we were just doing there, and just go ahead back in your rising trot again. Now, once again, shortening your reins in front of you, and let's just get a good working trot. Keep that. Now, shoulder in down the next long side. So I want you to really try to develop some power in the shoulder in. Keep him in the shoulder in, but I want you to give him some taps of the whip and see if you can get him to push up underneath you a little more. Because that's what's wrong with the canter, is he gets too flat and he doesn't hold any power. So let's try to get him to hold a little more power in the trot now. Let your hands come together. Let's do it. Okay, in those kind of instances, try to keep going rather than let him stop. That's what he's like, playing games with you now. And go ahead and trot. Now, shoulder in down this next long side and keep him going. If he tries to stall on you, give him a good tap with the whip. Keep it going. And don't stop when he wants to spook at something. Keep going. Unless you feel like you're going to fall off or something, you want to keep going. Because we always have to remember that we don't want to reward a horse for bad behavior, which people do all the time, and their horse spooks at something and they immediately stop and pet him on the neck. Well, pretty soon they'll be spooking at everything. So when horses spook at things, we just try to ignore it. Unless you're in danger, just keep going. Keep that. Now, again, shoulder in down the next long side, keeping a little more power in it, just like you did this time. If he starts to suck back halfway down there, tap him with the whip once and get him ahead of your leg. Much better frame now. Keep it going. That's the way. Tap. Good, good, good. Much better. Now go large. Now, down this long side, I want you to prepare to canter. We're going to canter in the middle of the short side again. But don't let him run faster, but give him some little taps and get some power in him. In other words, shake up the bottle a little bit so you feel like there's more energy at your disposal. That's what we call impulsion. It's energy we can direct. And canter right there. One, all at once. Now, if he doesn't get it, give him a tap. Go back on your circle now. Tap him once a little harder with your whip. We're not listening to you. Put your whip in your outside hand when we want to canter. It's best to use the whip in the outside hand because that's the leg that we're cueing the canter with. Good. Now go ahead and canter again. Now he's ready. Good. Good. Now let yourself sit a little bit. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Much better. Now come back to the trot. You got it. Come back to the trot and right away go large and shoulder in down the next long side. Tap. Keep him up. And we're going to keep his pole up and keep him in the working position. Like this. Keep the power there. Good. Let your hands come a little closer together to one another so they're not so wide. Up in this position. Good. Let your hands come together again on a circle here. About your circle. Keep him moving off your inside leg around the circle. Little tap to get him off your leg, and get his hindquarters a little bit more to the outside on your circle. Actually, to get both ends on the same circle. There you go. Keep him up there. Now, don't let him stretch. Keep him right there. Now you're starting to hold that power. That's good. Keep that. Now go large. You got a good trot now. Keep it like this. Don't let him start to drag you down or start to go slower. Keep him right there. Good job. Just like this. Keep it going. Don't let him stall. Just like this. Now shoulder in down the next long side. And shoulder in. Really good right there. Now circle right there. Oh, take up there. Stay with it. Now keep rising. Put your hands together and put it on your circle. Put him back together again. Way to ride that. We're going to do that, and that's what we've got to do sometimes. Is don't let him get your goat, so to speak. Keep him on that circle and keep that power in it. You've got a really good, powerful trot now. Keep that. Keep those shoulders up and back. That's what keeps you on the horse when things like that happen. Right there. Really good trot. Keep this power in it. Soften him a little bit with your reins and get a little more flexion. Right there. Fantastic. Got an excellent working trot. Best I've seen out of him yet. Right there. That's great. Go large now again. Keep that trot. Keep the power in it. As you go straight here, let him straighten in front of you, but don't let the power die. Change the rein across the next diagonal. Really good now. Really good frame you're starting to get. Excellent. Keep it going right there. Don't let anything change. You straighten him. All that's going to happen is you're going to change your rising diagonal at X. Don't let anything else change if possible. There. And of course, change your whip into your new inside hand again when we're working on the trot. Now on your circle here, you want to look a little bit, so get him off of your inside leg. Put your whip in your inside hand, circle here. And once again, push his hindquarters more to the outside of your circle. Let your hands come a little bit to the inside, but be sure he's moving away from your inside leg, that you can get him a little bit shoulder forward on the circle. Like that. Ask him to soften the jaw and pull a little bit. Close your fingers on the reins a little bit there for a moment. That. Go large again. Good. Keep that. Go large. Shoulder in down the next long side. Really good. Keep that power in the horse now. That's good. Really good. And shoulder in down the next long side. Got a little flat there coming out of that corner. Stretch up, get him off of your inside leg here, and use the shoulder in again to bring his back up underneath you again. A little more angle. There you go. Good. Keep it. Now onto your circle there, and keep that position of him bending away from your inside leg on your circle. Every circle feels like a leg yield. And if you can actually get it into a shoulder forward or a shoulder in, even better. Hindquarters a little bit outside. He's going to throw the shoulder out a little bit. Soften him with your reins a little bit. When I say soften, I mean give and take a little bit. Get him a little more on the bridle, but get him a little more off of your leg. Stay on that circle. Do it again. There, that's getting better now. Around the circle there. Better position now. Keep that. Hindquarters a little bit more outside again. He's getting a little flat again. Soften him with the reins a little bit. But don't let the power drop. That's it. That's the balance. That's good. Keep that now. Good. Keep the power in that. Go large again in the trot. Keep that. Excellent. Keep it going like this. Keep that trot right there. Very good. Keep it. Now in the middle of the short side canter. Keep the power. Keep him up there. Don't throw away the reins. Keep him right there. Now ask him to canter. Good. Go large. Now bring him back to a trot. Much better. Right onto a circle and bring him back into that frame on the circle. I'm asking you for a lot of things quickly here. Trot again. Don't let him die on you. Trot, trot. Keep him going. Active on your circle there. Good. Keep him there. Good. Ask him to soften back into the frame again. Get the power in, but get him off of your inside leg so you can get him back in your outside rein again and get him to soften back into the bridle again. Stay with that. Stay with that. Stay on your circle. There you go. Now you're getting it right there. Good. Keep it. Keep it. Around your circle. Very good. Good. Look around the circle. Keep that power in the trot. Keep it right there. Really good. Right there. Excellent. Keep that. Keep that. Now let him walk. Much better. Now let him stretch out in that walk. And he may want to stop and see if he may want to go to the bathroom now. If he does, good. And you did a great job with that. That was excellent. Keep it going. You can let him drop and give him the benefit of the doubt. He's been acting like he wants to. So we'll, now that it's our idea, we'll let him have a little moment to try that if he wants to.
I don't think he's gonna. It's funny,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, go ahead and walk on again. Maybe he was just trying to fool us again, but he didn't get away with it. Point is, he didn't get away with it. You got him through all that. Keep that big stretch in the walk now. Today, his trot had the best quality that I've seen yet in it. Really nice. Some really good moments. How's that feeling to you?
This right now, great. It's just he's having one of those days where it's just hard to keep him moving, you know?
Yep. That's a really nice walk now. I love that. Keep that. That big act, the big stretch. That's just what you want to feel. Keep it just like that. Really, really nice. Wow, what's that? Well, that's the best walk you've ever had on him right there, I believe. That's nice. Really good. Of course, I'm beginning to ask you to do many more things and more quickly. So don't let all that frustrate you. Just know that that's part of the process, is my asking you to do more complicated things more quickly so that your body gets used to them.
Yeah.
That's the key. But that's different than just telling you to grab hold of the reins and try to pull the horse together. That we never want. It's a process of learning how to do this and keeping your body in balance, your legs working in the right way so that we're not legging all the time, doing the right things that are going to build in the horse the right qualities that we want to ride a horse, that we don't have to leg them every step of the way. But this walk, keep that going. Now try to lengthen it. Go ahead and try to lengthen that walk down the next one sideways. And that's a really nicely connected walk. Good. Really nice. Is that going? Bigger? Now go ahead and just shorten your reins and bring his pole up and try to keep that energy that you have right there. And just go ahead and walk onto a circle, bringing his pole up on the circle. Excuse me. Keep that going. Now a little more power in it as you bring him up. See if you can add a little more power so you keep that power there. He started to get a little sloppy once you started to bring him up. He got a little lazier. So see if you can keep that same walk, that same power, that same sort of feeling that it's going someplace. It has purpose. Yeah, really nice, really nice, really nice there. Excellent work. Prepare to trot, go large in the walk. Now, just like we did preparing for the canter, prepare to trot by building more impulsion in the horse in the walk. Build more energy. Give him a couple of taps. Bring the pole up. The keep starts running at that higher level so that we ask for the transition. There's enough energy there in the horse that he can keep his body together. If it's not, he just kind of falls apart, and you have to go through that period of trying to get him back there again. It's better. Good. Keep that. In the middle of the short side, ask him to trot. Again, build the energy before you get there. So he's already really trotting in his mind or in your mind before you get there. The motor is revving at a high enough pace that when we engage the gears, they're going to smoothly engage. Now a little more power in it. So now we want you to bring his pole up. We're going to bring him up into a working trot and keep the power on a circle here. So if you have to give him a couple of taps with the whip, do so to keep that much energy there. Last little bit of it here as we keep him up there. Now it's going to soften, a little more power in it. A little more. Tap. Tap. There. Feel there. Feel it start to push up underneath you a little bit. There. Good. Keep that. You got to ask or it's not going to happen. Really good now. Right there. Really good. Keep that. Got a little flat, so once again, add the power. Stay on the circle. Keep it there on the circle. Keep it like that. On the circle. Power again. Don't throw away the front end. Just add a little bit of leg power. There you go. That time you brought it into your hand. That was really good. Keep that. Really good. This is the best trot this horse has had. Really nice. Keep it there. Keep that power in it now. Go large. Now don't let it go flat when you get on the long side. Expect it to and add some leg right there so he doesn't immediately just flatten out on you as soon as we go straight. Good. Now shoulder forward down the next long side, keeping that. Very good. Right there. Right there. Now right onto a 20-meter circle right there in the center. Keep that power in it. Don't let him fall into your leg. Keep him off of that inside leg. Keep him up in the pole. Tap, tap, tap right away. Don't let him get away with that. Good. We're going to stop. Keep it up. Tap. Again. Right back in that working trot. Add more power to it. Right there again. Add the power again. Right there. Good. Very nice. Right there. Keep that. Right there. Excellent. 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 Now go large. Tap. Now as you go straight, don't let it die when you get to the rail. Keep that power in the trot. Like that. Good. Keep it like that. Keep that all the way through the short side. Keep that going like that. Down the next long side. Keep it there. Right there. Excellent. Excellent work. Right there. Now on the long side, stretch up and bring him to a walk and a halt. Ah, very nice. And let him halt. Right there. Oops. All the way there. Really good. Pat him on the neck. Just step to the inside and dismount. That was fantastic. That's the best I've seen him go and the best I've seen you ride. That was wonderful today.
That's funny you said that. Best you see me ride because I felt really off.
Well, once again, it's what I'm asking you to do a lot of things, and it's going to throw you a bit because I'm throwing a lot more at you and much more quickly now. And I'm doing that because you have a horse that's capable of it now.
Yeah.
Know? So now you have to ride up to his level, as they might say, right?
He's like, get with it, Mom.
Get with it. That's right. And you see, like that last time on the circles, when you get those taps and you got that power to come up into your hand, you feel how much you had underneath you. Didn't that feel good? Yeah. That's what. So now you're beginning to get the horse. You're beginning to control the frame of the horse with what you're doing up there and developing the power in the horse. You know, really, really nice. I couldn't be happier with both of these horses today.
Great.
Excellent workout. All right. Questions today?
I don't think I have any questions. No.
All right.
I'm going to go back and look at that spook when he jumped to the forward mostly. Yeah.
But you did a good job of keeping yourself shoulders back. That's what keeps you on the horse. Always remember that.
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, when people's natural tendency is to roll up into a ball and come forward. And as soon as you come forward, the horse has got you. If he wants to take a ship, you're gone, you know, if he takes another step sideways. So that's why you always think of staying back. And with young horses, we ride them behind the motion a little bit so that we're back there a bit, you know, until we can trust them and the balance gets more sufficient underneath them.
Yeah.
Couldn't be happy with that, though, today. That was really good. You're really starting to put the pieces together.
Well, thank you.
Excellent. So next week, what day do we want to be?
I don't know. Oh, Thursday. Ron says Thursday.
We'll go back to Thursday next week. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thursday at 3 o'clock next week. Great job, you guys. Keep it up. That's really great.
Sounds great. Thank you, Will.
All right. See you soon.